Hi guys, this is Dennis from Guy with a Plant. In today's Plant Spotlight episode, I'm going to feature a very popular jewel alocasia. This is the Alocasia Dragon Scale. Okay, this Alocasia Dragon Scale is a cultivated variety of the Alocasia baginda, which is native to the tropical rainforests in Borneo. The genus of Alocasia is under the family of Araceae, so this is an aroid. So it is used to conditions that are very hot, humid, and moist. So this alocasia can have petioles that are 2 feet long, as well as leaves with length of about 16 inches. So the leaves on my alocasia is still pretty small. This is only about 8 inches, and the second one is about maybe 6 inches. Okay, let's talk about its leaves. If you want to know why this is called the dragon scale, you just need to look at this dark green emerald coloration of the plant, as well as this very veiny and leathery texture. And this leaf is also very stiff and hard, so it's almost like a shell, I would say. So the back of the leaves are lighter in color, but with this very striking purple veins running through the leaves. Equally beautiful. And these convex leaves, they have this very pillowy look to it, very puffy, but of course they are not soft. Right, I don't have much luck growing this alocasia. I think I got it end of last year, so that was it's going to be almost 1 year, and it was a 2-leaf plant, and yeah, still 2-leaf, but of course these new leaves, the original leaves are already gone. So I wasn't sure whether was this alocasia trying to acclimatize to my conditions here, but at that time, every time a new leaf came out, the older one will just turn yellow and just die off. And this happened very frequently. Every time a new leaf unfurled, the older one will turn yellow, and this goes on. So at any one time, there was always only about 2 or 3 leaves, and the leaves weren't very stable. Sometimes they turn yellow seemingly overnight. So I wasn't sure, was it the light, the watering, or my humidity, but yeah, it was pretty frustrating. And I was receiving many conflicting advice, well-intended but conflicting advice on how to water this. I should keep it moist, or you should let it dry out totally before you water this. You're over-watering this, that's why the leaves were turning yellow, etc. So yeah, it was pretty confusing, to be honest. So I decided I had enough. A few months ago, I repotted this and gave it a potting medium that is very airy and loose, really chunky, so that I make sure I'm not overwatering this. But I still want to keep the medium moist, but just not waterlogged. Yeah, and it seems to be happy. And also, I keep this in this plastic. Oh wow, roots. Yeah, I changed the pot to a plastic net pot, which encourages more airflow and also more drainage. So I can water this regularly, but without causing any root rot or any water to be sitting in the potting mix. So this is the older leaf, and of course this is the smaller one is the newer one. I think about the leaf unfurled about a month ago, And yeah, they both seem to be doing well, knock on wood. So far so good, no yellowing of leaves. And yeah, I also gave it sphagnum moss as a top dressing, and I mix this every day to keep the humidity in. Okay, let's quickly talk about its care requirements. First is light. This Alocasia doesn't really need very bright light, just medium to bright indirect light. So I keep this about 2 feet away from a northeast balcony. And now since it's end of the year, I actually brought it out into the balcony where it gets some morning sun, which I think will be beneficial to it. As long as the sun rays doesn't hit the leaves directly. Number two, watering. Since I've repotted this into this very loose aeroid mix as well as this net pot, I water this very normally, I would say, maybe once every 7 days or until this top inch of the potting medium is dry. I will give it a water. And also I miss this almost every day, just the sphagnum moss to just give it a little bit of humidity. And now it's in the balcony, sometimes it rains and it gets a little bit of more water as well. But I think it doesn't matter. Number three, potting medium. Like I mentioned, when I repotted this, I gave this very loose aeroid mix, which is made out of cocoa chips, cocoa peat, ochre bark, pumice, perlite, and I think some horticultural charcoal. Number four, fertilizing. I've not fertilized this Alocasia for a while now. Maybe that's why the leaves are so small. I don't know. But I read that there's always an issue with over fertilization. It's better not to over fertilize. Maybe fertilize it every 6 weeks. But when I repotted this, I added some slow release fertilizers, and so far I think it has been doing its job. 5. Humidity. Since this Alocasia is from the tropical rainforest of Borneo, you can imagine it needs a fair bit of humidity. But I would say this isn't really fussy. So anything between 40 to 50% is good enough. So I'll mix this sphagnum moss to keep it moist and to keep the humidity levels up. 6. Pests. Yeah, I don't have any pest issues with this Alocasia Dragon Scale. Unlike the Alocasia Amazonica, oh my gosh, I'm always battling the spider mites, and that was a really hard battle, I must say. Yeah, but this one, no pests at all, no mini bugs, no spider mites, no scale, no aphids, nothing. So I'm really happy. But as a precautionary measure, just clean these leaves with soapy water, maybe once a month or once every 2 weeks, and yeah, you should keep those buggers away. Lastly, propagation. I've not propagated this yet, but I would love to. You can propagate this by division. That means you actually separate the plants with different tubers, and then you repot them into different pots, and you'll get a few plants of this. Or you can actually dig out the plant, and then sometimes in the potting medium you'll find these combs, which is very common in Alocasias. And you just either put the combs in water, sphagnum moss, perlite, or even just regular potting medium, and then it should sprout into baby plants. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. I hope you have found this information useful. If you like contents like that, I hope you can consider subscribing to my channel, and also to like and comment on the videos. Yeah, meanwhile, take care. I hope to see you again in my next video. And remember, show your plants some love.